What's up, my people, and welcome to the channel. My name is Diamond, and today I want to talk CDs. And no, I'm not talking compact discs from the late 90s. I'm talking certificate of deposits. I want to define what they are and how do they work. I want to go into some pros and cons for CDs, and then take it a step further and talk about some good reasons on why you would use a CD, and just as important, some reasons why you should not use a CD. So if you've used a CD in the past, I want you to comment down below and tell me what was your reasoning and how did it work out. Like always, I want to thank each and every one of my subscribers. I thank you and I really appreciate your support. And if this is the first time you're catching one of my videos, then I encourage you to join the community by clicking the subscribe button and enabling your notifications, because this is a community where personal finance intersects with the real world to arm you with information to help you achieve your financial goals. Without further ado, let's jump into it. A certificate of deposit, or CD, is a type of account that you open with a financial institution. Typically, that's going to be your bank or your credit union. And this is the type of account where you're going to deposit a certain amount of money for a predetermined amount of time. And unlike traditional checking and savings accounts, with a CD, you don't have access to the money. So it's locked in for whatever time period you signed up for. And in return for locking your money up, the bank is going to guarantee you a rate of return, which is typically higher than what you're going to get in a traditional checking or savings account. So they work like this. You have $100 and you don't need this $100. So you decide, instead of sitting it in your savings account, you want to get a higher rate of return. So you're going to put it into a CD for a year. And the bank says, I'm going to pay you 1% on this $100 if you keep this money in this CD for a year. So you go ahead and do it, and after the year, the money is yours. It's deposited back into your account. Now you can use it for whatever you want, and you just made $1 off of that 100. Now, you might be thinking that's not a lot of interest, but when you compare it, the same bank may also say, if you leave it in a traditional savings account, we're going to pay you 0.01% interest, which means you only earned a penny. Now, I don't know about you, but I'll take $1 over a penny any day. But like most things, it has its ups and downs. So let's dive into the pros and cons of CDs. Right out the gate, one major advantage of CDs is that the rate of return is guaranteed. This is something that you don't typically hear in the investment world or the banking world in general, unless you're guaranteeing how much interest you're going to pay on a loan. But when it comes to you receiving interest, this is normally variable. But with a CD, you don't have to worry about that. If you sign up for a CD that's going to pay you 2%, as long as you abide by the terms and conditions of that CD, then you can expect a 2% return on your money. Another pro is that CDs are FDIC insured, meaning that you can have up to $250,000 in an account, and that account will be insured by the federal government. So you don't have to worry about the bank going out of business or them mismanaging your money, because if something go awry, the federal government is going to step in and they're going to take care of you, and you're not going to lose that money. Another pro for CDs is that the interest paid on these accounts is typically higher than what you're going to find in a traditional checking or savings account. Another advantage you have is that the rates and the terms is going to vary greatly from one financial institution to the next. So just because you do your primary banking with your local credit union, that do not mean that you're obligated to open your CD with that institution. You can search across the nation and find the financial institution that's going to offer favorable rates and terms that's going to fit within your lifestyle and within your financial picture. So at this point, you may be thinking, guaranteed rate of return, FDIC insured, higher interest than what I'm getting on my savings account, and flexibility. Where do I sign up? But wait, let's talk about the cons. And let's start with locking your money up for a set period of time. Like I said earlier, you're going to open a CD and you're going to lock your money up for however long you sign up for. This can be anywhere from 3 months to 5 years. So since that money is locked up, and in order to get to it, you may incur some type of penalty, which would negate the fact that you're earning interest, you lose the opportunity cost of this money. So you don't have access to use this money for other things. Another con is that when you lock your money in and it's set and you know what your interest rate is going to be, this can work for you or it can work against you. Because if during the time that you have your money in a CD, if the interest rates go up and you're locked in at a lower rate, now you're losing money. which makes the opposite true as well. If interest rates go down while you have your money locked into a CD, then you're going to make money. Now, on the same note, another con that you have is that the rates paid for CDs are lower than inflation. Inflation is normally 3 to 4% a year here in the US. So what you're going to find on CDs is the interest rate you're going to find is somewhere between 1 and 2%. So if you keep this money in a CD for an extended period of time, regardless of the interest rate, you're going to be losing money due to inflation. So what are some use cases for CDs? The first one is pretty obvious. You have some liquidity. You have some cash that you don't have an immediate need for. So instead of setting it in your checking or savings account, earning 0.01%, you decide to open the CD so that you can earn more interest on that money. Another reason to use CDs is something that I touch on in other videos on my channel, and that's you're exercising the muscle of getting used to having money. If you've never had $5, $10, or $50,000 just sitting in your checking or savings account, or you've had a hard time holding on to large sums of money because something always comes up and you always need to spend that money, you may need to exercise the muscle of getting used to having money. And CDs is a good way to do that because the money is yours. You can log in, you can see it growing, and if you wanted to, you can pull that money out, but you're not going to do that. You're going to put it there, you let it grow, and then it matures, and now that money is yours again, and you can do with it whatever you want. So this is a good way to get used to seeing money in your account that you're not itching to spend. Another popular use case for CDs is for an emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is there for you just in case something comes up, you would have the cash to be able to pay for it, which doesn't really make sense to use CDs because you're locking that money up for a predetermined amount of time, so you may not have access to it when something come up. However, there's a popular strategy out there called a CD ladder, which I'll cover in a later video, but basically a CD ladder means that you have a set of CDs that are maturing on a rolling basis, so you always have access to a certain amount of that money, whether that's every month, every 6 months, or every year. It all depends on how you set up your CD ladder. But that's another way to use CDs. And like I said earlier, it's important to know when to use CDs, but it's just as important to know when not to use CDs. And one of the primary reasons why you would not use a CD is going to be for long-term investing. And the reason you don't want to put your money in a CD for long-term investing is because the rate of return on a CD is not even keeping up with inflation and is definitely not keeping up with, say, an S&P 500 index fund. So if you keep your money in a CD over a long period of time, you're not only not making money on your CD, you're actually losing money due to inflation. So you definitely don't want to park all your IRA money in a CD. Another reason you don't want to use a CD is for things that you know you're going to need in the near term. So don't sign up for a 3-year CD knowing that the money in there is for you to buy a car and your car is breaking down every other week and you're going to need that money to buy your next car. And that's why you watch channels like this, so that you can gather information and make informed decisions so today's choices don't negatively impact your finances tomorrow. If you got value out this video, I want you to click the like button and make sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss any of my future investment videos. And until next time, I'm Diamond. Peace. Why don't they teach this stuff in high school?